goes a salmon up through here. Just left the pool. Anyways, here's another installment to our fishing report that needs to be done. I'm trying to get these more posted middle-ish of the week, so it'll be more useful for everybody that's coming up for the weekend. But anyways, let me just get started really quick with some announcements. First and foremost, it is salmon season, it is guide season for all of us. So if you send us emails and we're not getting back to you too quick, or it's been a while, please understand we're not ignoring you. It's just we put in some long days. I mean, by the time we get started in the morning, we get off the water late afternoon, we still got to finish up with the day, answer phone calls, try to get some emails done, fix gear, get prepped for the next day, get something to eat, tie George some flies. It's late, and sometimes the emails get skipped, and your email could get lost in the shuffle. So if you don't hear something first for a couple of weeks, or a week or so, resend the email and get in front of that to-do list on us. So just be persistent. I think on the end of this, I do leave some contact information. You can try calling. You can use the Lost River email account, or you can use mine personal email account, which is jpecguides@gmail.com. You can try doing that, but just understand that this time of year we are slow at responding. And it's not that we're ignoring you, it's just that long days, very busy days, and we get off the water. My joke is and it's sometimes I joke, we got the operational IQ of a walnut. Trying to put together a coherent sentence can be a challenge sometimes. So please be patient. Once again, we want flies. Pineville Sports here in the Salmon River has mine and Ricky's flies. And as always, if you want to fish with us, we are booked pretty tight. I know, I think we have some slots in November. But anyways, call, check last minute, see if you have a cancellation. More importantly, watch our social media. If we have cancellations, I might mention it on the fishing reports. And you can take a look on our Facebooks and our Instagram accounts. And sometimes we'll post them there too if they come up available. So that's it. Done babbling about that. Let's talk about the fishing. The past week has been, once again, a very spotty week, a very on and off week. The fish are moving. Like I said when I was setting up, when we first started, everyone squirt out of the pool here. However, they're not that grabby. We're focusing on fast water pockets. We are still dealing with water temperatures. I think today it's not that bad. Temperatures are fluctuating around 66, 65. You can tell it's gray. We got some weather today. So we've been still doing it. Also, they seem to be, one of the patterns we're really noticing is small wet flies. Seems to be working the best. Our mini intruders, the big woolly buggers, are not producing like they normally do for this time of year. They've been chasing a lot of wet flies. Green butt skunks, Dave's SA has been another one. Comets without beads, stuff like that. A lot of stuff we're tying on, like size 4 wet flies, size 4 salmon hooks, size 4 wet fly, standard wet fly hooks, heavy wired wet fly hooks. That type of stuff has been working the best. We have dropped back down from 12 pound back to 10 pound to help with the bite. The 10 pound doesn't do much when you get a really hot, heavy head shaker and the head to the rocks, but at least we're getting the bites. So that seems to be the pattern that's settling in. One day we'll get a squirt of fish, and then the next day we won't. Last week we had 2, what I would call good days. Probably the best days we've seen all fall last week. Because we had a couple of cold nights. In fact, in Altmar, where I stay, the air temperature dropped down to like 43, 45 degrees. And the river temperature went from 70 to 60. We lost like 10 degrees overnight. And as you can imagine, that water temperature coming from a heat stress down to getting close to a comfort level, those fish were moving and they were grabbing. So I think what we're dealing with still some water temperature issues. The fish are trying to move, but not a lot. You know, you're going to get some weird reports. You know, hey, the estuary's full, but what's going on is you got pods of fish swimming in circles, and what they think is just constant fish going by them. No, it's the same 2 dozen fish going in a big circle. So there's a lot of that going on. However, the estuary is filling up with fish. They're just, not really leaving, just tiny little handfuls. And maybe a few dozen will squirt through for a little while, then it'll go quiet. So that's what's going on. So, yeah, we're ripe for a cattle drive. No doubt about it. The fish in the lake have moved out into deeper water. That's because of water temperatures and the way the wind is. All we have to have is one blow the hot water, and those fish will come right in on the shoreline. That blow would also bring a lot of cold air in, drop the river temperature, and we could have a few days of some really good activity. So we're right on the cusp of, epic fishing, so to speak. So any time now, if you crack. That's kind of what's been going on with that. Once again, I am down on the Douglas and Salmon Run. I'm kind of in the lower section of the river. Even on the DSR, it's stay in the pocket water, stay in the fast water. The bigger pools that we love to swing, really, unless the water temperatures drop down to close to 60, they're not going to really be that grabby in there. They'll sit in there, but they just won't grab. So it's small wet flies and it's pocket water fishing. It's more of a drift, not a swing. Like I said last week, water temperatures improve, that'll improve. So that's kind of what's going on here. From the DSR to the upper, I'd say the fly zones, there's fish scattered all the way through. The numbers have been slowly growing, but it's still the same rules. Pocket waters, head of the pools, where the water's fast, mechanical agitation. And if you go upriver, understand water temperatures are going to be warmer and they're not going to fluctuate as much because of the reservoir. The reservoir is warm and it's full of that warm 68-degree water, I'm guessing. And so as you get near the top, that water temperature is going to be stable, but it's going to be warmer. There is fish in the fly zones. I haven't been in there, so I can't tell you how full they are. What's really nice is the upper river is quiet. There's a few fish around, and you can pretty much fish where you want right now because the weekend was busy, but Monday it was like 85% of the fishing pressure went away. And even today, when I did this, it's even less. So it's still kind of quiet in the upper river. Most of the fishing pressure is down low. The DSR is you're close to sellouts, but you can, if you hear it's fishing good, stop and see if there's an afternoon pass. You can sometimes get PM passes. So if they're filled up in the morning, try it in the afternoon. The nice thing about fishing the DSR in the afternoon is one, you know if it's been fishing good. Two, usually a lot of people are calling it by noon. They're leaving, so the fishing pressure is dropping. Yeah, the fish may be slowing down, but they'll be in the pools, they'll be in the pockets, and there'll be fish there, and you can start with some water and probably have a great afternoon and get all the fishing you want in an afternoon by closing time. So that could be a really good value, picking up a PM pass on the DSR. Let's see now, anything else we need to go over? Yes, we've still seen some brown trout being caught. I did net a steelhead last week, so a steelhead was caught. I saw it. There is some coho squirting through. And down on this bottom end, I think they're waving to go by, but they're moving so fast I can't see if they're waving at me. But there is definitely some cohos in the upper river and the fly zones. And they're coming in little pulses, little trickles, and they are smoking through the river. So that's something to keep in mind. So that's pretty much what's going on. I do expect that from this point on to see a steady improve. Later this week, probably when you're watching this, we're going to have some cooler temperatures, and that's going to pull the heat out. It's starting to rain again. And so that's going to definitely help us. So these cooling temperatures will probably get these fish moving. And I'm sitting in the head of the spring hole, so I'm going to go fish this for a minute. Tuck the camera away before it drowns. I already got one drowning camera, I don't need two. So that's what's going on, folks. We're working on another fishing video, so once again, yeah, it's right down in here. Hit the subscribe button, the little bell icon. You'll know when the when stuff's coming up. We got a lot. I'm going to keep doing the fishing report, so a lot of stuff's coming on you. We're trying to get another fishing video for you guys to watch and what's going on. So we're going to keep working on the videos in between while doing everything else. Talk about having to multitask, guide video, answer emails. Life's good. We look forward to this. So that's all coming. So hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and if you see us on the river, wave and say hello. And until then, see you on the river. Good fishing to you, folks.
This is Jay at JPEG Guides and Lost River Fishing. We are a year-round fly fishing catch and release guide service. We fish the Lake Ontario tributaries, and then during the spring and the summer we also fish the inland trout streams, classic dry fly fishing. During the heat of the summer we will do the warm water fishing for bass and pike. If you're interested in any of our outings or have any questions, please feel free to email us at fish@lostriversfishing.com. Hope to hear from you, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact us.